Today we are talking about looping concepts. In earlier class we have seen about looping statements such as a for loop as well as while loop. I hope you understand that how exactly looping statements would be useful for you. So firstly, let us understand what do you mean by nested looping statements and why they require and what sort of problems they would be resolve them, right? So firstly, nested looping means a loop statement is appear within another loop statement. This is called, what? Called nested statements. So syntax is that for I in operator range So this is very simple nested statements where exactly the one particular first statement will be appear within the another statement. So firstly, we should understand in what situation we require a nested loops. My answer, my justification is that to handle the data when it is in the form of table, which means that rows and columns. Right. So let us understand with appropriate example, because that example will gives you how exactly inner and for loops are going to work for that. Yeah. A Python program to perform matrix addition using nested for loop. So here I'm taking some examples such as there is a matrix which is a nested list concept where I'll be taking there will be the first row which is 1 comma 2 comma 3. The second row 4 comma 5 comma 6. The third row is that 7 8 9. This is matrix C. Then comes to there is another matrix Y, some similar kind of a concept like here 9 comma 8 comma 7. And 6 comma 5 comma 4. And 3 comma 2 comma 1. Let's suppose I'll be taking two important matrices. I wanted to perform the addition between two matrices. I wanted to store this particular matrix in a resultant matrix, the result matrix. Here the resultant matrix I would like to store with zeros because sometimes the memory might have a garbage values. Therefore, we would like to keep the so this is the input for performing that. Now the main role is that how do we deal with the nested for loop is the matter. Firstly, we have to write outer loop statement, and it is used to handle rows in a matrix. See, matrix is nothing but it's a table. Here, obviously, 3 into 3 matrices. It is matrix table. Let us write, there will be a for, there will be a row in operator, and the range. Here, the range will be a built-in function. So where it will be generates a value based on the given parameter. So let's suppose I wanted to know number of rows in a particular matrix. There will be 3, right? Obviously, if I call the function called as a length function, which is an x, which will be give you 3 as an output. Now at this moment, obviously, 0 to 2 it will be go. 0, 1, 2 means 3 rows, right? Obviously. Okay. The next, inner for loop. Inner for loop is handle columns in a table. Now I'm writing column in operator range. Now whenever we do these certain mathematics like this addition or matrix multiplication or such operations, number of rows and columns in a particular matrix to be determined. Otherwise, sometimes matrix multiplication might not possible. Now here, whenever we go with the columns, like if we take a length of the x of 0 will give you number of columns in a table. So now the range will have a 3, which means 0, 1, 2. 3 minus 1 is 2, right? Obviously. Now, so what is an operation now? Here, logical expression to be written. What is the logical expression we wanted to perform now? Obviously, there is a result matrix where I would like to have always, the value which comes from the I and the value which comes from the j has to be stored, and there x of I and obviously x of ij plus y of ij, which means that here we should not keep ij because we have taken here in place of the I, we have taken row, right? You take it is a column. So instead of I and j, we are supposed to take row and column because we want it to be handled like that, right? Row and column. Similarly here also row and column. See here whether you use the ij or pq or row or column, that's completely a programmer wish. Meaningfully you write. That's therefore other people can understand that what is the purpose of this particular program. So after completion of all the iterations, the resultant matrix will be get stored into a result matrix that will be displayed over here. So take a comment, display resultant matrix. So now just take one particular for loop and result in operator result. Cool. Just you print result. This program will gives you that exactly how exactly inner for loop. So let us not to be execute here. If we execute just like it will be give you the output. You see. But the same thing you take in the what is called in the Python tutor, that will gives you absolutely right output how exactly an iteration will take place. Copy. I will be demonstrating that Python tutor is the a tool where exactly it will be visualize you how it will be program gets visualized or yeah. Let me reduce the size of this program. Yeah. So now I'll be if I click visualize, the execution would start at a first line, which is the first line is at a comment. The second line will be it allocates the memory as an array, as a nested list. You see how it will be allocate the memory for you for ACE matrix. You see. So here, if you look at very carefully that there is a matrix is X, which is the an array. Array is it is a nested list where so there are 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, where absolutely the 1 will be located at 0th index and first index and second index at a 0th row. See, if you write here like this is the way how exactly we are going to write. One second, just hold on. See, in generally, we supposed to write like this matrix. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now the point is here 0 indicates what? It's a 0th row. It is the first row. It is the second row. Similarly, so here the column will be 0th column, first column, second column. So now in G1 indicates what? 0th row, 0th column. 2 indicates 0th row, first column. 3 indicates 0th row, second column. Like all the elements are going to be the taking a reference of the row and as well as a column. Then only they would be referenced. That is supposed to be understand for both the matrices X and Y. Based on the X and Y, we are going to discuss now. Let me generate the block of memory for the Y matrices also. If you look at now, the Y matrices is represented here. See, the indexes are very important now. This 9 will be referenced 0th row, 0th column. This is going to be the 0th row, first column. This is reference the 0th row, second column. Isn't it? Similarly, same here. Like this is going to be the first row, 0th column. And obviously, first row, first column. And second row, second column. Like that, it will be represented meaningfully. Because if we go with the rest of the program, the tracking is important. If we don't understand how inner level it is executing, I think you don't understand the right perspective of nested loops concept, because a large problem can be solved by this particular nested loops. So you should have a perfect idea how exactly it will be taking place. Yeah. Let us, if we click next, it will be show you the resultant matrix, which is going to allow the resultant with the zeros as a by default values. I hope you are seeing that it is showing you a resultant matrix where the currently elements are zeros, because to avoid the garbage values we have written the zeros. Now point is that now let me little go ahead. Now we are in the 13th row. 13th instruction. So what the 13th instruction is saying now, Let me just hold on. Yeah. The 13 instruction is saying that the int operator will be pick up the value. The length of the x is nothing but 3 here, which means 0, 1, 2. 3 minus 1 is 2. Up to 2 it will be go, which means initially the row is indicate with a 0. Row will be indicate with a 0. Yes or no? It allocates the value. Now you see now, if I click next, I hope you are able to see here that there will be a row which is pointing to 0th row now. Now if I go to the inner for loop, 15th line, that handles the column where it also be represent a 0th column. You see now? Now 0th row, 0th column. Now what this particular 17th line is saying, x of 0 or 0, x of 0, 0, which means what? This particular value is going to be referenced with this particular line, plus y of 0, 0, 0, which means what? This particular value is gonna referenced. So now 1 plus 1 plus 9, 1 plus 9 is going to be stored in resultant matrix where 0th row, 0th column, which means what? Here it will becomes to 10. Earlier 0, right? The 10 would be common stored over here. Let's see now. Let me execute what happened. So now currently in resultant matrix it is 0, right? As soon as if I click next, the 10 is going to be stored into this. You see now? Yeah. I hope you understand here. Already 10 has come. How did you get this value? Obviously, x of 0, which means 0th row, 0th column. Y of 0 means 0th row, 0th column. So 1 plus 9 is going to become a 10. Now the point is the cursor went back to the inner loop. After 17th line, the statement will be go to inner for loop. Inner for loop, which means what? Till how long this particular inner for loop will execute? Till all 0th row, all the column values will be picked up. If there are no more elements in the 0th row, then the cursor will be, this loop will be go to the outer for loop. Till then the row will be pointing to the 0th row, but the column values will be keep on changes. Now earlier column value was 0, right? If I click next now, this range function will pick up rather than 0, now it will be picked up 1 because it is pointing to 0. First row. First column, not a first row. It's taking to the first column now, because the inner loop, right? So now you see earlier it was a 0. If I click next, it will become 1. You see now? Inner for loop has become 1 means what? Now here it will be pointing to this and it is pointing to this. 0th row, first column. Because row is still 0, right? And first column value. 2 plus 8 is going to become a 10. Now this will be indicates 2. This will be indicates 8. 2 plus 8 is going to be 10. It is going to be stored into the 0th row and first column, which means what? Here it is going to be stored 10. I hope everybody is with me. Yeah, let us execute now. You see, automatically the value will be stored into this. See, this kind of navigation or maybe a flow of execution does not show you in the collab Jupyter. Therefore, I'm just showing you how exactly the inner flow of execution will take place. Clear? Now, still the cursor will be in an inner for loop. Still the cursor will be in inner for loop, where exactly now the length function, it will be showing you the column is going to be a 2, because 0, 1 is done. Now it was 1, right? Now if I click next, it will be taking 2. You see now? Yeah. Column has become 2. Still row is 0. 0th row, second column. Now this time the inner for loop will handle 0th row, second column. 0th row, second column. Which means 7 plus 3 is going to become a 10. The moment if 70th line gets executed, here it is going to be stored 10, the resultant value. You see now? I hope you have seen that. So the value has become 10 here. Now this moment, if I click next, my question is, now the cursor is at a 15th line, right? At this moment, the column need to become a 3, but there are no values in a third column. At this particular moment, when the column value will be incremented to 3, there are no more elements, which is an out of index concept. This particular loop gets failed, then the cursor will be go back to the outer for loop. Now in the outer for loop, earlier row was pointing to the 0. Now the row is going to become a 1. It was 0. Now after execution, it will become a 1. Please clearly understand now. You see, if I click next, the cursor went back to the outer for loop because the inner for loop has been failed because the column value become a 3. 3 is an out of index. Okay. Yes. I hope you are tracking what I'm demonstrating to you. Now if I click next, row value was 0. Now it will become 1. Absolutely. Now the column value will be reinitialized to 0. Now it was 2. Now it will become a 0. You see? Yes. Now if you look at, row value will be pointing to 1 and the column value will be start from the 0. Now obviously what happens here? First row, which means 4, and the 0th column is 4. Then here also the first row will be 6 and the 0th column is 6. Now 6 plus 4 is going to become a here in the resultant matrix. Here it was 0, right? After this it is the first column. It is the first column, 0th row, where it will become a 10. Let us see now. Yes, I hope you are seeing. So now we are still in inner for loop, where so column will become a 1. 1 means what? Here it will be taking 5. Here it will be taking a 5. Because two matrices, right? Absolutely, here it is going to become 10. Are you clear? Yeah. Next. Now it will become 10. Next. Column value will become a 2. Then obviously it is also becoming 10. Then at this moment, the column will become 3. That's not going to be covered within the range. Therefore, it will go went back to the outer for loop. Now the row value will become increment 2. So now column will become 0. Now absolutely at this particular moment, we are dealing with second row because here it is tracking second row. And 0th column, which means it is 0th column. Here also same thing. Here it is the second row, 0th column from the Y matrix. So 7 plus 3 is going to become, here it will become a 10. Right. So let us click next so that it is going to be, yeah, absolutely. Here if you look at second row, first column is filled with a 10 value. It is went back. Absolutely. If I click next, it will also be perform the next values. Then it is also performing the next values. So now our resultant matrix all completely computed the resultant value. When the column will become 3, it will be get failed and then it will be went back to the outer for loop. Then you see now if I click next, it will be went back to the next. Here the row is also going to be increment 3, but 3 is not included in the matrix, which will be now out of box, like out of index, right? So outer for loop is also getting failed. When the outer for loop getting failed, then completely this particular instruction doesn't participate into execution. Directly this cursor will be come back to the 20th instruction, 20th line. You see now, click next, it will be come back to the 20th line, because outer for loop is also get failed. Now in the resultant matrix, whatever the values are there, like 10 10 10 10 10 will be read by the resultant matrix. It will be print onto the screen. Where it will be print? Here it will be print. This is the resultant value. Here it is the resultant matrix will be shown to you. Now if I click next, you see what happens. First row, second row, third row. That's all. So once the 3 rows will be shown, then it does not have any values. Therefore, the cursor become disabled. Now this is a resultant matrix. So this is how, there will be the way how exactly, nested loops are going to be used. Either a for loop or either a while loop. Both will have a same kind of a similar scenario it would be follow to execute the things accordingly. But I
Sir, I
hope
have a
everybody
question.
understand that. I think a lot of assignment questions I have given in the thing, so that you will be able to see that, and you can able to solve them with the example of for loop and while loops both. So if you go with whatever the link I have shown you, that you could be able to chapter 1, and there will be control statements, there will be assignments. I think I haven't keep, so today I'll be keep assignments related to nested for loops. You can track them accordingly, right? Okay, and comes to yeah, Rajalakshmi.
Sir, I have a question. So if for
Rajalakshmi, do you
row
have any
in,
questions?
yes, am I audible?
Okay. You asked something. Am I audible to you?
Yes, hi, sir.
Hi, Rajalakshmi.
Yeah, I was not audible. So my question is, if instead, like suppose the first row for row in range length X, if I do suppose column in range length Y, does it execute or not?
Yes, definitely it will give you according to that. See, you can print here rather than going to the for loop, you print all
Yeah.
of them. What happens, you see now here, print length of the X, isn't it? So print length of the Y, print length of the X of 0. It is related to columns value, and print length of the Y of 0. Built-in function object not subscribed. Sorry, here I just given
Function.
yeah, correct. It is the function, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the length of the X, which is the rows, number of
Mm-hmm.
rows in a X. This is number of rows in a Y. The number of columns in a X, number of columns in a Y. This is how, see, sometimes, whenever you perform the addition between two matrices, this doesn't make any sense. But, whenever you go with the matrix multiplication, number of
Mm-hmm.
columns in a first matrix should be equal to number of rows in a second matrix. If that condition doesn't match, the matrix multiplication doesn't happen. That's the reason it's necessary to know rows and columns in a matrix. That will be determine the upper boundary of the matrices. Yeah.
Okay, so no, I was thinking like if I there is like two matrix X and Y. So if I loop uh, from X and then from Y, and then from we can add X plus Y, then we can get the result. Like, I mean, it's a simple math I was thinking about.
No, no,
So
no. In NumPy it is happen. You need not to be iterate like this. There will be a
okay,
data science NumPy. You have written row result of row column is equal to, you have written, right? There you need not
yeah,
to write. Just, X and Y, you just print the result is equal to X plus Y. That gives the
hmm,
result. You need not to be iterate it. That,
yeah,
that
yeah,
once,
yeah.
yes, yes. I'll go
Yeah.
to that level. Just hold a few days. So a lot of hurdles, whatever the complexities you have seen earlier, that will be resolved with a lot of built-in modules concepts. Yeah,
Okay, sir. Thank you.
yeah, right. So let us understand now. The next concept is special statements. Special statements. Special statements. There will be a statement is called as a break, and there will be a statement is called as a continue. There will be a statement is called as a pass. So here the break statement means the statements will be always included in a while loops concepts. And what exactly does break statement? Break statement is terminates body of the body of the loop statement when certain condition met. So the syntax is absolutely for or while loop. No, there will be whatever the loop statement for I in operator object. Then I am going to call condition, if condition. Then obviously I'm going to call the break statement. This is the basic phenomena how exactly the break statement is going to work. Let us take an appropriate statement. Firstly, you should understand what break statement. Break is generally, generalized a word called break. The moment when the break statement is invoked here, whatever the break, rest of the instructions will be there to be executed, that are all going to be terminated by the break statement. So what is the situation? Let me take one situation so that it will be give you the perfect meaning what exactly break statement will do that. Write a Python program to stop creation of mail ID when certain unwanted operator used or delimiter used. used. Yeah. Which means that according to the Gmail ID, underscore will be not allowed. Venkat underscore Nayak at 123@gmail.com. See, according to the Gmail business logic, underscore is not allowed. Dot operator will be allowed. If you look, let me show you. I want to create a new mail ID where I just wanted to show you where the break statement is necessary and which was written already. I want to create a new mail ID for personal use where Srini Vidya, where if I click next, day will be 24th, yeah, 2017. So I think 2017 she might not be eligible to create a mail ID. Better let us take 200. Gender is female. Next. Now if you look at, do you want to create your own mail ID? Yes, absolutely. Now what I'm trying to tell you is that Srini underscore Midde. Now the point here is that whenever I'm trying to create a Srini underscore Midde, this is against to the Gmail business logic. The moment when the Gmail ID validation will be takes place with the help of encounter with this underscore, it will be throws one error to you. If you see, you can use letters, numbers, and a period operator called as a dot operator. You see now, if I click next, it will be throws on one runtime error. Yeah. What is an error? Sorry, only A to Z will be allowed. Number 0 to 9 will be allowed and period operator dot is allowed. But this error has been thrown to you because you have violated rule because by pushing the delimiter called as an underscore. This kind of a real-time problems can be resolved by using there is a break statement will be throwing you whenever you violate the rule. I hope you have understand. Let us go back to the program now. Let us go back to the program now. Comes to here, I create some mail ID. Now my next intention is, firstly, I need to read each and every character because at which place the underscore will be appear or pushed by the end user, we don't know. So your responsibility is that you just read for loop character in operator Gmail. From the Gmail, we want to pick up each character firstly, and I'll be compare whatever the character every time at every iteration will come character will be, isn't it? Uh, is equal to underscore. The moment whenever the character, it can be first place or second place or whatever the places, then it will be tells you that print dear print dear only A to Z and 0 to 9 and dot operator is allowed to create Gmail ID. This is an error. You can write as an error. Here it can be write it as an error. Okay. Then after giving a prompt, I'll be called, there is a statement is called as a break statement. You see now what happens? Simply if we execute, it will be throws an error to you. What error it is given? Yeah, dear only A to Z. So this program probably if you look at just like that, if you execute, it doesn't understand. Better you take this program to be executed by the Python tutor. So that gives you absolutely in a right perspective way, how exactly innerly it will be get executed. If I visualize, yeah. Now click next. The Gmail is holding a string now. The for loop will take each character at a time. So now the in operator will get a V here. From the Venkat underscore Nayak, V is taken into currently in the CH. Now that comparison will take place. The V is equal to underscore or not, it will be taken. Now obviously failed because the V is not equal to underscore, right? Again it will be go up. You see now the behavior of the for loop, it is a loop, right? Now it will be taking E. E is not equal to underscore. Now it will be going to N. N is not equal to underscore. Next it will be take K. K is not equal to underscore. Likewise, it will be going T is not also equal to that. Now the point. Now underscore has came. Now there is a point called underscore. Here it is an underscore. Now character is having an underscore. Is underscore is equal to underscore? Yes. Now this time the condition become true. So obviously this prints the result, and then the call the break statement comes to fifth statement, that will be terminates the entire the for loop. Cursor will become out of it. You see now. It will be print and it will be called the break statement. That's all. Further Gmail loop doesn't encounter into place. Are you clear? See here the program is look like very simple, but the program will be solved a lot of real world problems. So just how inner level the program is getting executed as per your instruction, that understanding is very important. I'll be
Yes, sir.
taking another example. I'll be taking another example. Yeah. I'm just simulating the braking system. The braking system in the car, right? So car nowadays, it is fully automotive. Tesla car, like driverless cars, are completely driving is happening with the help of a program, not with the help of a human. So we are writing the program to control the braking system, like in emergency. So I'm writing a program emergency braking system. Braking system, which means anti braking system, I can say. Nowadays, if the driver is drunk, it automatically, if his controlling is going out of the boundary, then obviously the car automatically come into anti braking locking system. So let's suppose the speed of the car is going to be a 60, isn't it? So we are tracking any obstacle or coming around near the car. So obstacle detected or not. So we are taking the, probably you can take it as a false. Currently the obstacle is not detected. Let's, now, so how exactly the brake system, like brake statement we want to use, that I just wanted to give the right example to you. Now I'm taking a while loop. While the speed of the car is greater than 0, if the speed of the car will be greater than 0, then obviously, it will be simulate, isn't it? So obviously if speed will be less than 30, less than 30, less than 30, there will be a possibility. Then obviously it can be said that, what, let's suppose, like, if the speed of the car will be less than 30, and we are taking a logical and operator, and obstacle detected, Earlier it was a false, right? Now I'm taking it as a not. Now what happens? Obstacle detect would become a true and the speed of the car will be the 30 kilometers per hour. Then what exactly the prompt to be given for the driver? Absolutely, I can say that obstacle detected. Obstacle detected, isn't it? And apply anti-lock braking system. Braking system. It is the by default. It is the by default. What is called option. It's a mechanism which is already being implemented in the cars. If it is not happens, what happens here? I'll be taking. If it happens, absolutely, I'll be go outside. Then I will be reduce the speed of the car automatically. That speed minus is equal to 5, which means what? Speed is equal to speed minus 5, which means it will be come back to the 25. Otherwise, I can make it as a 15. Otherwise, I'll be make it as a 25. What happens here? So if it is 25, means 30 minus 25 will become a 5 kilometers per hour. It will become back. Reduce the speed. Yes or no? So obviously the system like car is going to be under the control. Absolutely. Slowly, I can prompt is that I can give you prompt is that here there is a point here. When the obstacle will be happen, then I am going to take there will be a break statement. There will be the break statement. Right. So if the break statement applied, obviously what happens here, the control will become out of the loop. Then it will be the slowly car or vehicle is stopped, isn't it? If you look at now, if I just like if I execute, what happens? You see, yeah. If you look at carefully here, if I give less than, this condition become fail actually. 60 is not less than 30, right? Therefore, the condition is becoming false. Therefore, it is went into infinite loop. But now the condition is the 60 will be greater than 30. Absolutely, the obstacle is detected. That is going to be a true. And obviously, this particular condition also becoming a true. Logical AND operators we have applied. Therefore, this particular statement will be executed and break statement is also be called. And the speed of the car will be reduced from 30 kilometers to 25, probably 30 or 40, whatever, and slowly the vehicle is getting stopped. So here the nature of the break statement is we shouldn't be function the car. Ultimate idea is whenever if you are meeting to certain level of the condition, this is the condition. I wanted to stop the functionality of the car by calling the break statement. Therefore, the vehicle is going to be under the control. That's how, in a autonomous cars, this kind of statement will be getting executed where the break statement will be used. There is another example. There is another example that, write a Python program to stop counting currency notes at a bank when fake node series detected. What is the logic? Let's suppose you take a list of list 1 where there will be certain series 1122, 1133, 1144, 1155, 1112 and 1113 and 1177, 1199. See here, just assume, for instance, assume that the 1112 and 1113 are the fake node series. The moment whenever the a normal series will come, like a genuine series will come, we shouldn't be disturbed with something else. But the moment when fake node series detected, I wanted to prompt to the banker that the fake node series is detected. And how you are going to call the break statement is our demonstration. Now we are going to call for I in operator list 1, where if I is equal to 111, 2 or I is equal to 111, 3. Then I wanted to prompt that, you know what, dear banker, fake note detected. Then it will be called, there is a call statement is called as a break statement. Now you see, or else if you want you can print also till what extent it is going to be called. I and is equal to this. You just execute. You see now output 1122 red. This condition not going to be true. 1133 is red. This statement, this if statement doesn't satisfy. The moment 1112 has came, then this condition become true. Therefore, it is showing that their banker fake node detected, which means what? It gives a light alarm, like beep sound will be given, so that he will be remove the fake node series and remaining nodes are going to be counted. For that also, whether shall I stop, whether shall I continue after throwing the fake node series, that is going to be, instead of break statement, if we call the continue statement, it will be keep on counting the rest of the statement after throwing the fake node detected series. So I hope everybody understand that, then the purpose of the break statement, why do we use at this particular moment of time? The moment when you use the break statement, when the moment it is invoked, the loop statement terminates the execution of the rest of the statement, because that's time to be handled like that. Is that clear, everyone, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so there will be a lot of classical example, real-time example. I just, I have shown you in the, I think in the assignment questions, I'll be keep into the drive. Please you refer and try to understand them. How break continue statements, like, today we have spoken about break statement and nested loop, right? So in tomorrow's class, I'll be talk about, continue statement and pass statement, other statements too, right? They are very important in many situations. Abnormally we are going to handle with this special statements. I think everybody must understand why they used, when they used, and when not to use them, right? So if you have any questions, I'll be clear your doubts and I'll be stop the class now.
I'm good, sir.
Okay. Yes, participants, do you have any questions? Aruna, Kevin, Mahi, Sandeep?
No, I'm good.
I'm good, sir.
Yes, great. So please, I request, I have already shared the Google Drive to everyone. Please, you go through that, and I'll update the, I think, the whatever the materials and assignments in the Google Drive, I'll be sharing with you. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.